Hi folks, Dr. McGrory again, and I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you, let me see if I can get this up and running, to talk to you about important Connect details. If you're experienced with Connect, you may even want to especially tune in because you're much more likely to make these mistakes, okay, just maybe out of force of habit. So there's three things, and I'm going to tell you the good versus the bad. Most important, even if you have long logged into Connect and you just Google Connect or you search for Connect or you have your way of logging into Connect, for the initial time that you entered the class, our Connect class, you need you to start at the specific web address that I provide. It's at that point that your username is connected to our class in particular. Yes, you can just kind of generically find Connect and navigate to the class. And what students report to me when they go about it that way, and they always say, no, I didn't do that. I went this other way, right? I found your class, I got into the class, but it's not working right. I know, because for that initial time, you got to start. Otherwise, go ahead and call tech support because you're going to, run into some problems, all right? So avoid that calling tech support step. Start at the web address that I give you, and I'm going to kind of tell you how to do that. Make sure your name appears in Connect. Even if you had, this profile in Connect set up from a year ago and your name has changed, update that Connect profile so that your name is correct. It's going to protect you from being deactivated in the course. It's going to make sure that you get the correct grade, when I record that in pause. So it's hugely important. Now, this one is a biggie, and it's a pitfall that most students fall into. And it costs you points. And I don't want that. I want you to get, this is like the insider stuff, right? I'm telling you how to be very, very successful. I want you to get all the bang for your buck and all the points that you can get in our course by immediately navigating to course materials. By default, when you log into the Connect website, you're going to be on what's called the to-do list. Sounds great, doesn't it? Oh, what a handy to-do list. Oh no. I will explain. So let me pull this up real quick and I'll show you. Okay. I'm a little bit before the start of the semester, so I'm actually created a copy of the course just so that I could demonstrate. You can't, I can't even as a student get into the course until the semester starts on Tuesday, January the 18th. Now, when you log into the to-do list makes this decision for you. It says, oh yeah, you've got a whole semester's worth of stuff that you need to do. Okay, but I don't think you need to start right now, so I'm not going to show you. If I logged in tomorrow, would it show me? You have assignments due, trust me, okay? Would it show me tomorrow? I don't know. There's not a setting. I don't know. There's some filter up here. Maybe you want to explore that. I don't know. What I do know is you have a lot of stuff that you could and probably should be doing if you were to get access into the course. On January 18th, I really hope there's a lot more. Let me tell you something else that the to-do list doesn't show you. When we went through the syllabus, and I talked about that in another video, I explained that you have multiple attempts on an assignment. So when is the assignment off the to-do list? Is it when you get an F? Is it when you get a D? Is it when you get a C? It's when you get an F. In other words, the first time you hit the submit button on the assignment, done. And it doesn't bother to say you have 2 more attempts. Why would it? It's done. You don't want that, right? You want to make that decision. Now, if you don't have time to go back in, but that's your decision. You're empowered to make that choice. For some assignments, you have unlimited attempts. That is your choice to say, how many times am I going to go back in? And so this to-do list is going to suppress all that. Other things, links to your textbook, to the app that you can download. There's so much hidden on this page. So how do you get all the bang for your buck? How do you get all your benefits? Always, always, always go to the menu, come down here to classes, and expand. See that little podium there? Expand that. Any class that you have that's in Connect, instead of appearing in this to-do list, jumbled all these assignments, and you're going to have all these assignments, and you might overlook the 200-point test because it's in there with all of your late work that you don't even have to do the late work. But because of that, you overlook the test on that to-do list. No, 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 no. Menu, classes, pick the class. Easy peasy. Menu, classes, click the class. Just remember, don't stop when you initially log in. Make sure you go menu, classes, I click that, and then pick your class. Okay, in this case, obviously we're picking our class. Oops, sorry. Okay, now, here's some things that would not necessarily appear on the to-do list. Maybe I want to use my initial time to do one of these tutorials. I have those out there for you. They are not for points, but it gives you kind of a look at the Smart Book if you're new to that, to the application activities if you want to better understand those, and there's even just some general orientation videos. You can do whichever one of these that you want. Now, I did make a copy of this course just so I could demonstrate this before the semester started, and I went ahead and changed the start date on this assignment, and you could see that I could click this blue arrow to open it. If it's got a lock, then it's not yet available, okay? So that's something I wanted to show you. Now, look at some other things. I'm reminding you, I put a little item in here just to remind you, look at this reminder, go to pause for your first attendance quiz. So you would never see this because it's actually not an assignment, it's just a reminder. So you would not see this reminder on the to-do list at all. And I would say to you then, I hope, make sure you're following the class schedule, right? Now, as I look down a little further, and speaking of the class schedule, you know that you have 3 chapter assignments due. So here's chapter 1. It even tells me 3 items. I can click this drop-down box, and here are the 3 items. It tells me when they're open. Now, it'll be the 18th. I changed these for demonstration purposes. It tells me when they're due. It even tells me things like, I'm going to look at this test prep quiz. I'm going to click on that, and it says I have 60 minutes to complete it. I have unlimited attempts, isn't that cool? And 20 points possible. So I could click on that. Yes, let's begin. And I mean, it's a quiz, so I'm just going to kind of random. I'm not going to take time to read the questions, but you get the idea that, it's just a quiz, and then I'll submit, and I'll go ahead and submit again. And I can even view my results. Oh, look at that. I missed that. I missed that. I missed that. So I can go back through to better understand, my answers, right? And to study. That's a great study tool. Now, application activities, these are really cool. You're going to enjoy that. And you may really want to read the syllabus in terms of how these are graded. And what I'm just going to quickly say to you about these is, in a leadership course, it is important that you take time to understand yourself, because we can't understand other people. And how do we lead other people? Do we do it by going over there and grabbing them and saying, come with me, and we drag them with us? It may feel like that sometimes. Or do we go stand with them and understand what's important to them and walk with them? Right? Isn't that how we typically see leaders? So you have to understand yourself. The way that you understand yourself is the lens by which you look at other people, which is essential to leadership. So you have unlimited attempts on these application activities. You'll have an option to share or not share the information when you finish it. And if you do unlimited attempts, you can choose to lie on the first attempt and say, I feel that I'm 100% confident, or I'm terrible. You can then have an attempt. This is what I want to say. Have at least one of those attempts where you are really honest with yourself. The system's going to give you some feedback, and I think you're going to grow a lot as a person as you do that. read the grading in the syllabus because, these are your honest answers, okay? It's kind of a self-evaluation. I think you're going to like it. You can even kind of do some of the questions with a friend and maybe grow together as leaders, discuss, how does your friend think you are in this particular characteristic? Might be fun. And maybe you could answer the same for them. Okay, what I really want to spend just a moment on is the Learn Smart. And the first thing I want to tell you about the Learn Smart is this. It is in essence your book. You can go into this Learn Smart assignment at any time, okay? Because it is your book and you can read the pages. But it's also an assignment where you answer questions. That assignment, the points stop accumulating at 11:55 and 1 second, okay? So on January 25th, 2022 at 11:55:01, you might be answering questions, but you're not earning points anymore. It's your book, so it's still available, but you want to finish this assignment, answer all the questions before 11:55. And it does take just a little bit of time, but I think you're going to find it incredibly supportive in your learning. Okay, so I'm going to click that. I'm going to click Begin to go in. Now it begins and it says, what do you want to do? Do you just want to jump in and start reading, or do you want to answer questions? You can choose whichever. I'm going to say you can click Start Questions. I'm going to say Start Reading because there are students who like to just stop and read the book first. Now, if this looks like a regular page of the book, that's exactly what it is. And it's got highlighting in it to help you, right? Because this might be something that's really important. And when you've mastered that concept, the highlighting will change to green. How does it know when you've mastered it? Because you're going to answer questions. Now, you can page through the book. You see how these are different pages, and I can go through the page. Look at, there's a lot of important stuff on this page, right? And for reading, this is fine. But to get the points for the assignment, see how it says 2 questions? So I'm clicking questions. Make progress by completing concepts. The number of questions will vary depending on your individual needs. It's okay to get questions wrong. You still earn 100% if you complete all questions by your due date. Submit your answers by selecting your confidence level. This will not affect your grade. We're going to see. Now, this is what this tells me. I have 28 concepts in this chapter that I need to learn, and I need to answer 2 questions on each concept. So these bars are divided into 2 parts. You'll see it fill halfway up when I answer one question correctly, and it'll fill the rest of the way up when I answer the second question correctly. So we start off with a true and false, and you may start off with a different question. Leadership includes something happening as an outcome of the interaction between a leader and followers. Now, maybe you feel like you know this one, so you just go ahead and say true. But see down here, it says rate your confidence. Well, if you feel really good, I'm just going to say, okay, yeah, I got that correct. See how it's colored in half the bar? It's shaded half the bar? Excellent. Let's go on to the next question. Multiple choice. Now, which of the following skills was most important to the emergence of leadership among the survivors of the 1972 plane crash in the Andes? What? I don't know. Well, I could guess. I might get it right, might get it wrong. Or I could read about the concept. So if I click read about the concept, this is different than reading button down here. Reading button just takes me generically to the book so I can read. Read about the concept is trying to help me answer the question. Click that. Do you see how it scrolled down? It's trying to, look at this, in the spring of 1972, we're reading about the passengers. Okay, we're reading. So I can find the answer to that question. Now, when I'm ready, I've got the answer and I want to go back 2 questions. It returns me to that question. I'm just going to randomly pick A. I have no confidence. I'm going to say low. I got that right. Now, obviously, though, I guessed, right? So does that mean that I really understand this. That's where the reporting gets interesting. So you continue through, I go to the next question, and you just keep answering questions like that. I can exit, I can come back anytime. I'm only going to earn points up until the due date and time, but I am going to go ahead and exit, and yeah, exit. Okay, so that's a little bit about our assignments. Remember, we came in here by clicking on Menu, Classes, and then we selected our course. Now, obviously, I'm working on a copy, okay? But here's some other things that you may want to know. You know, if you just use that default view, which is the to-do list, you may not have even noticed that you could look at results and you can see grades that you have. Now, I don't have anything to look at right now. When you come into this, it's going to give you summaries of your scores and their averages. In the syllabus, that's not the way that I grade. I only give you the highest score. So make sure you click to look at the different attempts that so you can find your highest score. Because remember, I'm only grading based on the highest score. So what did we learn from this? Very importantly, avoid this default view, which is the to-do list. It will lead you into trouble. And for our class, start from the specific website, name exactly as it appears on the college roster, and avoid the to-do list, right? So that you're aware of all those different benefits that you have. Thanks, folks. I hope this helps, and get ready to get started. You're going to like this class.